Hi there. We are going to change things up a bit here to try and make this more natural. Welcome to my channel. Most of our listeners are not subscribers, so if you like my content, and before you do anything else, please do hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? I keep coming back to that exact question because it feels like it could be silly, almost like a party question. But then I actually sit with it, and it gets quiet in my head for a second. Because the Earth has this thing around it. Not something anyone can see most of the time, not something most people talk about over breakfast, and yet it's there, doing what it does. I think about an old analog compass, a little needle floating on a pin. No batteries, no screen, just metal and a direction. And it works. It actually works. It's strange how easy it is to forget how strange that is. Like, why should a tiny piece of metal sitting in my hand know where north is? I mean, it doesn't know in any human way, but it behaves like it knows. It lines itself up with this invisible structure that's everywhere. And I can turn my body, spin in a circle, hold it out, and the needle keeps doing its calm little correction, like it's patient with me. Like it's saying, no, not that way, this way. And part of me still feels like it shouldn't be possible, like it belongs to the category of things that only work in cartoons or old adventure stories. Compass points north, hero heads off into the trees. But it isn't a story, it's an ordinary object, behaving like the planet is humming a steady note that the needle can hear. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? I think it does, but not in a fireworks way, more in a slow way. A sink into the chair way. Because if the compass can feel it, then it's not some abstract concept. It's physical. It's here. It's interacting with things. And then my mind wanders to animals. Not in a documentary voice, just in that wandering voice. Like, what else is listening to it? There's this thing I read about birds, especially robins. European robins, I think. Apparently they can use the Earth's magnetic field to navigate, not just by landmarks or the sun, but by sensing magnetism itself. And the detail that got stuck in my mind was that it might involve their eyes. Something like a chemical reaction in certain light conditions, where the magnetic field changes the outcome just slightly. So the bird isn't reading a compass needle. It might be seeing a kind of pattern or a shading layered over the world. Not a big glowing arrow, nothing dramatic. Just information. A faint overlay that says, this direction has this feeling. And if that's even close to true, it's hard to hold in the mind. A robin on a hedge in winter, small and ordinary, and inside it there's this ability to take in an invisible field and make it useful, to let it become home. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? Sometimes it does in the way that makes daily life feel a little thinner, like the curtain is not as heavy as I thought. Because the magnetic field isn't some far-off cosmic thing. It's right here, wherever here is. It threads through cities, through bedrooms, through the places people lose their keys and the places people sit quietly and stare at nothing for a while. And I'm aware that I'm surrounded by it, but I don't have the sense for it. Not directly. I can only meet it through tools and stories and side effects. Through a compass needle. Through a migrating bird. Through those little facts that land in the mind and stay. And I start thinking about how many invisible systems we live inside. Gravity is obvious because it keeps us on the ground. Magnetism is less obvious because it doesn't pull at me in a way I can notice. But it's doing something. It's shaping. It's protecting, maybe, in ways I don't fully understand without drifting into explanations. And I don't want to lecture myself, I just want to sit with the question. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? I find myself imagining it as a kind of presence. Not a personality, not a spirit, just a presence, the way the ocean is a presence even when you can't see it. Something massive and steady, and we build our lives on the surface of this planet, and the field is part of the planet's quiet body language. Like a slow gesture. Sometimes I think about how the compass needle doesn't point to true north. It points to magnetic north, which shifts. It wanders. So even the thing that feels stable has movement in it. The Earth's field changes over time. It isn't frozen, it's alive in a mechanical way, a physical way. And there's something calming about that, oddly. Like the planet isn't a static stage, it's an active thing. Still, there's no drama in it. It doesn't announce itself. It just keeps being there. And then I think about how people must have felt when they first trusted a compass. That moment of letting an object tell you where to go when everything looks the same. Just snow, or sea, or trees. And the needle says, this way, and you decide to believe it. There's a kind of humility in that, trusting something invisible because you've seen it be consistent. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? Maybe it's also that it invites a certain kind of quiet conversation. Not a debate, more like, what's the most everyday thing that feels impossible when you slow down? What else is happening around us that we don't have senses for? What would it feel like to see the world the way a robin might see it, with magnetism as part of the picture? Not better, not worse, just different. And I wonder too if the reason the question lands is because it's not asking for a fact. It's asking for a feeling. Blown away doesn't mean convinced. It means startled softly. It means being reminded that the world is bigger than the slice of it I usually pay attention to. If this question sits with you at all, I'd honestly be curious what part of it does it. The compass part, the bird part, or just the idea of an invisible field being there all the time. Does the Earth's magnetic field blow you away? I keep asking it, and I don't reach a final answer. Some days it's a yes, quiet and simple. Other days it's just a shrug, like, of course it's there, why wouldn't it be? And even that shrug is kind of interesting, because it shows how quickly the mind normalizes the impossible, how quickly wonder becomes background. But then I picture that little needle again, still, floating, turning, choosing a line in space without thinking. And I feel that gentle surprise return, not big, not loud, just enough to make the world feel a little more alive in its own quiet way. That's about it from me. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you have any thoughts, please let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next video.